temporary homeless accommodation provides accommodation for those who unfortunately end up homeless. So we do an incredible amount of work here in York on preventing homelessness. Last year we prevented 752 cases of homelessness, and as a local authority we received only the 3rd Gold Award for our homeless services in the whole of the country. So it's something that we work incredibly hard to try and stop getting to that stage. But when individuals do unfortunately become homeless, the local authority has a duty to assist them, and we're hoping that James House will enable us to provide that accommodation for some of these very vulnerable individuals. And I think some of the most scary part about homelessness is actually the fact that it can happen to anyone. So the provision that we're putting in place, it will be staffed 24/7, so security will be here 24/7, but also we have support workers that I believe will be here from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock in the evening. But with all the provision that we have across the city, we work with a number of providers, including third sector organisations as well, to support some of these very vulnerable individuals. I think one of the real benefits of James House will be that we'll be able to provide that higher quality level of accommodation, because a lot of the buildings that we currently have are very tired and in very need of restoration and as well, and refurbishment work. So Ordinance Lane, which is probably the precursor to James House, currently has 31 units. It was only a couple of months ago that I was speaking to an individual who'd had all of their property damaged because of a pipe bursting. It's something that we're very aware of, and obviously through this scheme and bringing in all of the temporary homeless accommodation provision across the city, we'll be able to look at those assets that we do have and see how we can use them better, whether it be for other sheltered accommodation schemes, social housing, or to receive a capital receipt so we can reinvest in services like this one. So we're holding an exhibition just across the road at the Railer Centre. It's primarily the businesses in the neighbouring area coming down to have a look and see what we're planning, but overall the response has been overwhelmingly positive. It depends on the individual circumstances, so some people are in there for a matter of days, others it might be weeks, and some others it might be months, so really it's tailored to their circumstances ultimately. So we're hoping, obviously after we get planning permission, fingers crossed, that we will be able to complete and have the site open in 12 months. So the homeless rally that we saw I think last week was more primarily around rough sleeping. This is for individuals who are presented as statutory homeless, so it provides a different level of support for those individuals, and people who perhaps are not coming from a rough sleeping background and more as a result of the circumstances that they have found themselves in. I would say that across the country there is a homeless issue. That's why we've seen it had so much time in Parliament. We've got the Homelessness Reduction Act, that was a piece of Conservative legislation backed on a cross-party basis. So it's something that people are very aware of. In York we have, as I said, brilliant homeless services. The number of preventions that we have are very high as well. But actually if you look at the statutory acceptances of homelessness in York, that's actually falling. That's not to say that we don't have a homelessness problem at all.